Vanakkam Dinesh.
Vanakkam.
Vanakkam Dr. Dinesh. So, Dinesh அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது இல்ல டாக்டர் தினேஷ்னு சொல்லும்போது before we even know you as Dr. Dinesh அப்படின்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி எங்களுக்கு என்ன மைண்டுக்கு வரும்னா blush, beauty and beyond. So, Dinesh வந்து Dr. Dinesh, blush, beauty and beyond Dinesh, Bharatanatyam dancer Dinesh.
That's right, yes.
A lot of identities. Multiplicity. Right, yeah. So, ஒவ்வொரு விஷயமா ஒவ்வொரு பரிமாணமா ஒவ்வொரு ஐடென்டிட்டியை நம்ம வந்து அன்ஃபோல்ட் பண்ண போறோம். So, முதல்ல வந்து உங்களோட பரதநாட்டியம் பத்தி நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்க போறோம். நீங்க வந்து ஒரு 25 வருஷமாக நீங்க பரதநாட்டியம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, கரெக்ட்டா?
That's right.
எந்த அரங்கேற்றம் நடந்தது? யார் உங்க குருன்னு சொல்லுங்க.
My guru is Srimati Sudha Sashikumar, and I studied Bharatanatyam in Ipoh, Pera. And then she later moved on to KL, and I continued the dance classes there. I also learned under Lakshman Swami sir in Annanagar, Chennai. So when I was doing my dentistry in India, when I have semester breaks, I used to go to Chennai to study from Lakshman Swami sir. So these are my two main gurus. Of course, I've attended workshops here and there, but I call these two people my guru. And yep, I've been dancing since the age of 7. It's been a huge part of me. It's been the favorite part of me. Yep, I used to perform a lot more, but then now because of work commitments and business commitments, I perform a lot lesser. I still perform quite a bit, but a lot lesser than what it used to be.
Right. சரி, முதல் கேள்வி. இந்த பரதநாட்டியம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும் போது பெரும்பாலும் பெண்கள் தான் இதுல ஈடுபடுவாங்க. ஆனா 7 வயசுலயே உங்களோட பெற்றோர்கள் வந்து உங்களை பரதநாட்டியம் கத்துக்க அனுப்ப வச்சாங்க. இது எப்படி சாத்தியமாச்சு? உங்களோட மனப்பான்மை அப்போ எப்படி இருந்துச்சு? How did you react as a child?
Okay, now this is a very interesting issue because my dance teacher was actually a very close family friend, and they didn't have a son. They only had 2 daughters. So I was very, very close to them. They looked after me like their son. And I kind of grew up watching my dance teacher getting dressed, performing at events and rehearsing and all those things. And that is how I really fell in love with dance. So like you said, dance is mostly, followed by female dancers and female performers. So when I told my parents, they were very concerned, and they did have a discussion with my teacher if everything is going to be okay. I don't blame anybody for this. There are a lot of male dancers who have become female, some are cross-dressers. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a lot of them that I know personally of. A lot of male dancers are attributed to female features, and for me, I think dancing gives them a small escape of being more feminine without being wrong. So if you are a male dancer and you dress up quite feminine, or you walk like a girl, or you talk like a girl, maybe they feel it's acceptable. So it may be like a small escape for them for bringing out that femininity in them. So my parents were very concerned, and they did have a discussion with my teacher, but my teacher assured them that if you are taught properly, if you are showed your limits, you will be okay. And I'm glad my parents supported me.
Right. Dinesh, இப்ப நீங்க சொன்ன பதில வச்சு பார்க்கும்போது ஒரு பரதநாட்டியம் டான்சர் இல்ல ஒரு ஆண் செக்ஸ் சேஞ்ச் பண்றது, டிரான்ஸ்ஜெண்டரா மாறுறது தவறுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? இல்ல ஃபெமினினா நடந்துக்கிறது தவறுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? Are you saying that?
I don't think that is wrong at all. That's perfectly up to them. Some people are genetically born that way. Some people choose to be that way. I think it's entirely up to them. It's entirely up to them.
Right. சரி, அப்ப பரதநாட்டியம் டான்சரா இருந்தீங்க, 25 வருஷமா நீங்க டான்ஸ் ஆடிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. உங்களை வந்து ஒரு டான்சரா பார்த்து உங்களை கேலி செய்தவர்கள், இல்ல உங்களுக்கு வந்து ஏற்பட்ட ஏதாவது ஒரு மன அழுத்தம், ஏதாவது ஒரு விஷயம் எங்களோட ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கங்க. அதுல இருந்து எப்படி மீண்டு வந்தீங்கன்னு சொல்லுங்க.
So I remember being always performing on television, and that was considered a big deal back then. There was no YouTube, there was no Instagram, and there was no Facebook. So if you appear on television, it was considered quite a big deal. And I remember performing in television many times, and everyone around me used to be so excited, and they used to be singing praises about me. But I used to be so scared to go to school the next day because everyone would have watched it. And I come from a very small place in a small school, so everybody would have watched it. And it wasn't like these days where there are like a million channels on TV. There was like 7, and like all the Indians would watch just that one Tamil television channel. So I remember freaking out that I had to go to school and everybody would have seen me in makeup, and of course they all thought that it was super feminine, and they didn't understand what it was. So yeah, I think that kind of gave me a lot of insecurities. But I think as I grew up, I realized that it's not wrong to wear makeup or to be on stage like that. I just wished I knew that as a younger child. Nobody told me that it was okay, or nobody told me not to be embarrassed. So yeah, I think I did face some amount of bullying in along these lines.
Right. Yep. So when you said you did not know who to go to for help, how did you handle the situation? Were there moments that you were emotionally drained? Did you break down? How did you come out of it?
Like I said, I didn't do anything. I just kind of like got used to it after some time. But I just got used to it. It didn't bother me as much at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pinnoki Pakamboda, one of your performances where you thought that you had nailed it and you're really proud of, what would that performance be? Which year was it? And what was this piece that you performed?
So I think my most memorable performance was my Arangetram, and that was in 2010. I was really proud of myself because I had to dance for 2.5 hours. I was only 17 years old. It was a huge task. I was the first in my dance school to do the Arangetram. So we didn't have anyone to follow, or we didn't know what to do. It seemed like such a big task. And yeah, I was proud that I accomplished it.
Yeah. And now I'm going to put you to test. உங்களுக்கு ஒரு சோதனை ஒரு சவால். Okay. இப்ப நீங்க வந்து Dinesh, you are not Dr. Dinesh yet. You are the Dinesh of your childhood days and your teenage years. So 15 வயது Dinesh தான் நான் பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன். நீங்க இப்ப 2010ல நீங்க வந்து அரங்கேற்றம் பண்ணீங்கன்னு சொன்னீங்க. So அரங்கேற்றம் பண்றதே வந்து ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம். A lot of people who take up பரதநாட்டியம் கத்துக்கிறவங்க கூட அரங்கேற்றம் வரைக்கும் வரதில்லை. Okay. But it's a big thing. I want to congratulate you on that. Personally, I have a lot of male friends who are dancers as well. So I know. Now, நீங்க எனக்கு முகபாவனை செய்ய போறீங்க. நவரசம். Okay? நவரசத்துல நீங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு 3 ரசம். Okay? எங்களுக்கு பண்ணி காட்டணும்.
Can I do 1?
I asked you 3 out of 9.
Okay. Okay. I will do anger first.
Okay.
Okay, that's anger, and let's do compassion. Okay.
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 Very good. Rautram and Karunai பண்ணி காட்டுனீங்க, which is very important. Rautram வரும்போது கருணை வந்தா தான் அது. Thank you so much, Dinesh. இப்ப நாங்க பேச போறது டாக்டர் தினேஷ் இன்னும் போகல. இப்ப அந்த பரதநாட்டியம் டான்ஸ் தினேஷ்க்கும் டாக்டர் ஆக போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி அந்த இடைப்பட்ட காலத்தை பத்தி பேச போறோம். So your journey from the time you had become a teenager and before you had become a Dr. Dinesh. So அந்த காலகட்டத்துல you took up you started with blush, beauty and beyond. நீங்க வந்து முக ஒப்பனையாளரா மேக்கப் ஆர்டிஸ்டா மாறினீங்க. என்ன காரணத்துக்காக இந்த மேக்கப் ஆர்டிஸ்டா மாறினீங்கன்னு சொல்லுங்களேன். You already in medical school at that time.
I was. Both me and my wife, at that time, my partner was in medical school. We were in final year and we wanted to do something to raise funds for my wife's education. So she was doing her final year examinations and her dad's business kind of went into bankruptcy. And we needed to find funds to fund the final year studies. So that is when we were desperate to come up with something to earn some kind of income. we had many ideas. I thought, let's bake something and sell. Or she said, we could possibly like open a boutique, but that needed a lot of investment at the beginning stages at least. And then I said, well, I think I can do makeup just through years of doing dance makeup. I said, I think I can try and do makeup. Maybe you can go ahead and learn hair and sari. And that's how we just kind of went ahead with that idea. And this was at the end of 4th year. A lot of people were against it because medical school is not easy, and final year is, the toughest year in medical school. We were both in final year, but we had to do what we had to do.
Right. சரி, அப்ப நீங்க வந்து தொடங்குனது வந்து உங்களோட அப்போ வந்து உங்களோட காதலி, இப்போ உங்க மனைவி ஹனுஜாக்காக நீங்க வந்து ஆரம்பிச்சீங்க. She's also Dr. Hanuja. She's a general practitioner இப்போ.
Correct.
சரி. சோ அந்த காதல் கதையை பத்தி கொஞ்சம் சொல்லுங்களேன். எப்படி உங்க வீட்ல காதல் மலர்ந்தது?
Okay, so before university, we in Malaysia, we had to do something called a pre-university program, and we both enrolled into the same course in the same college, which is the Canadian pre-university program, and that's where we met. Yeah, we were both like 6 months into finishing the course. We went to a friend's party, and then she happened to be sitting beside me, and then from then on we got close, and that's how we got together.
Was it love at first sight?
No, I wouldn't say that. We were friends for quite a bit. We were like very close friends for 2 years, and then it kind of blossomed into love.
சரி, எப்படி அது காதலா மாறினது? How did it turn into love? From friendship, how did it become a love?
I think it was her kindness that kind of caught my attention. She was very kind to me, and she was very supportive in everything that I do and I did at that time. She didn't question things that I did. Even in dance, she was very, very supportive, which me, again, as a male dancer growing up and thinking of my future, getting married to a woman, and, whether her family will have such presets about a male dancer and whether she will support me and things like that. But I think those were the things that really caught my attention.
Right. Okay. So I was going to ask you about that. இப்போ வந்து நீங்க வந்து இப்போ ஹனுஜாவோட உங்களுக்கு காதல் நீங்க வந்து திருமணம் அப்படின்றது முடிவு பண்ணியிருந்தாலும் கூட இப்போ வந்து அவங்களோட குடும்பத்துல இப்போ வந்து மேல் டான்சர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது ஒரு ஸ்டிக்மா இருக்குது பரதநாட்டியம் ஆடணும்னு. சோ அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு தருணத்துல people have preconceived notions. அவங்க பெற்றோர்கள் especially the mother அவங்க ஏத்துக்கிட்டாங்களா? எப்படி இருந்தது அந்த அனுபவம்? எப்படி வெளிப்படுத்துறீங்க இது you interested in marrying her?
So they used to watch me perform even when we were friends. They used to come to my performances, and they used to watch me on television, and yeah, they were completely fine, and they were very supportive against it. So that made me really, really happy.
Right. And how did you propose to Hanuja?
I proposed to her very long after we got together. We knew each other, and we were together for 10 years before I proposed to her. So me being me, I honestly thought that I don't need to propose to her because we were together for 10 years and we knew we were going to get married and things like that. But my sister was the one, she was like, oh no, you have to propose. This is like every girl's dream. If you pass this stage, it's not going to come back. So I proposed to her at the very same place that we first met at Taylor's University College.
So are you a romantic?
Yeah, I think I am.
I think I can ask this question to Hanuja, not you. Okay. And உங்களோட திருமணத்துல உங்க மனைவிக்கு முக ஒப்பனை செஞ்சது நீங்க, கரெக்ட்டா?
That's right, yes.
But isn't there a taboo thing? You're not supposed to see the பொண்ணு பார்க்க கூடாதுன்னு ஒரு ஐதீகம் இருக்குதுல?
Yes, that was. Our wedding was full of against all these taboos actually. But then, honestly, nobody wanted to do it. It's not that I wanted to do it. Everyone who I inquired from, they're like, oh my God, no way, it's your wife. We're not going to touch her face. You do it, So I on my wedding, I did makeup for my mom, my sister, and my wife. And then I got dressed. Yeah.
Did you put on makeup for yourself on your wedding day?
Yes, I did. So I normally don't put on makeup, although I'm a makeup artist. But when I got married, I had a flare-up of acne plus some kind of allergic reaction, and my face was full of scars. So on that day, I did put on like a little bit of concealer, but that's about it.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
So Hanujaக்கு இதுதான் மேக்கப் திருமணத்துக்கு இப்படி தான் இருக்கணும்னு டிசைட் பண்ணத ஹனுஜாவா நீங்களா?
Oh, that was a huge argument because I had a certain, prefix of how I wanted her to look, and then she had a certain idea of how she wanted to look. So, we were just, going back and forth with the ideas. I'm very traditional. I'm very classical. She's very modern, and she's like, oh, I'm not gonna have a bun. I'm not gonna have a braid. Anything in between is fine. I'm like, what is there in between? Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we figured something out. She had her hair down, and overall it was beautiful. But then yeah, the process of getting there wasn't that easy.
Were you nervous about putting on makeup for her on that day? And the makeup. Okay.
I was. There's so many emotions in me. I'm getting married. Is everything going to go on well? Is everything, the weather's going to be okay? Is she going to look nice? If anything goes wrong, like I won't be able to like touch up, or like I won't be able to correct it. And yeah, it was a cocktail of emotions.
Okay. So and at what point were there like, okay, you are good, அப்படின்னு உங்களுக்கு approval எங்க கிடைச்சது அந்த மேக்கப் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கும்போது, or were you nervous all the way until you finished it?
She actually looked in the mirror and said, I really like how I look. And I was like, oh, yeah. Yes.
திருமணத்துக்கு நீங்க அவங்களுக்கு மேக்கப் போட்டீங்க. ஆனா நிறைய பேர் நினைக்கிறாங்க அங்க வெளிய போகும்போது எல்லாமே வந்து நீங்க தான் மேக்கப் போடுவீங்க.
No. I would have only done like proper, I know her for like 12 years now. I would have only done like proper makeup for her for like maybe 4 times. Her graduation, the wedding, and maybe 2 other shoots. Like, that too like branded shoots, like when we were working with the brand. So not like on a regular basis. Like, no, that doesn't happen.
Okay. So as a person, as a makeup artist, and when you're putting on makeup for your wife, is she a difficult person?
She is.
Because she knows. Yeah.
Yes, she is. It's like, treating a dentist teeth, because they know what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing, and what's next and what's before. So when you screw it up, they're like, wait, what's happening right here? So yeah, it is difficult. Especially not just they know it, and she's my wife, so it's not as easy. Yeah.
Okay. So திருமணத்துக்கு நீங்க அவங்களுக்கு மேக்கப் போட்டீங்க and all that, and then let's talk about, now we've spoken about Dinesh the dancer, we have spoken about Dinesh who started out Blush Beauty and Beyond, and now let's talk about Dr. Dinesh.
Okay.
So dentistryக்கு போகணும்னு எப்படி முடிவு பண்ணீங்க? இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா பொதுவாகவே இந்தியர்களிடையே ஒரு எதிர்பார்ப்பு இருக்கும். பெற்றோர்கள் எப்போதுமே சொல்றது, you become a lawyer, engineer or a doctor. So that's the thing. But நீங்க வந்து பரதநாட்டியம்ல இருந்தீங்க, மேக்கப் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டீங்க. Did you want to become a dentist, or you were forced to become a dentist?
Well, initially, I think at, I would say 17, 18, I was confused. I don't think anybody would know at that age what exactly they wanted to become. So I wanted to become a doctor. I wanted to pursue medicine. My mom is a head of staff nurses. So I've seen her work, and I've been in the hospital a couple of times, and I really like the environment. And I thought I wanted to become a doctor. But then my mom told me that, if you practice medicine, you will never have time for anything else. And she said, she's the one who told me, like, you're good with your hands, you have an eye for aesthetics, so dentistry might suit me better. And I'm so glad I listened to her, because I have no regrets. I absolutely love dentistry, and I love what I do.
But dentistry ன்னு சொல்லும்போது இப்போ ஒரு காலகட்டத்துல நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா, ஆரம்ப காலத்துல வந்து it was extraction and filling. இப்போ வந்து aestheticsல தான் நீங்க வந்து போறீங்க. So it's all about creating a beautiful smile.
Correct.
So I think the smile creates a person, gives them the confidence. So I think anga ungaloda Blush Beauty and Beyond and the aesthetics comes together, alla?
Yes, I definitely believe that, as scientific or as smart as you are, you need an eye for aesthetics when you are a dentist. You have to be very neat, you have to be very meticulous, you have to know how to match the shade correctly, you have to know how to shape the tooth correctly. So these are very, very important, and I think that's what sets you apart from you and the dentist next door.
Right. I remember when I was in India இருக்கும்போது I needed a filling for my tooth. So I went to see a professor in dentistry. He's a professor. So he did my tooth. And he told me, I'm going to create your tooth with flaws. The filling, I'm going to create it with flaws, because that's what will make it look perfectly normal and perfectly well done.
Wow.
So yeah, so he purposely had put in some other colors while he was doing the filling.
Yes.
So to be perfect, you have to be imperfect rather than the vishnu.
That's
correct?
True. Yes, correct. Very true.
So what is your biggest challenge as a dentist today? as Dr. Dinesh?
Now, speaking about private practice in dentistry, anyone who hires you will want you to work your maximum number of hours on weekends. That is where I am involved in like the other activities that I do, which is dance and makeup and things like that. So dentistry as such, I haven't really faced any challenges, but this becomes a problem because most people who hire you will want them to work, you will want you to work on weekends. And I'm not able to commit on weekends because I've got a million other things to do. So that is a challenge for me. But then I used to be very stressed out because of this, but then eventually I realized that I can't be everywhere and I need a break for myself too, just to do like normal things that other people do as well. So that's when I decided that, you know, I will just freelance in everything that I do. That way I'm happy inside and outside because I can do what I want to do and I can do it all. A little bit of everything.
Okay. And Hanuja, அவங்க வந்து மருத்துவராக full time வேலை செய்றாங்களா இல்ல அவங்களும் freelance மருத்துவரா?
No, she's a full-time doctor, but she helps me on the weekends with brides.
Okay. Tell me your day. How is your day on a, let's say on a Saturday?
Okay, so I wake up at crazy odd hours because most Indian weddings start at about 8 and the photographer will need the bride to be ready by 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So I need 4 hours for hair, makeup, sari, and my photos. All right. So if the bride needs to be ready at 5:30, I need to start my work at 1:30. And for me to be there at 1:30, I need to wake up at 12:30. So basically that just means no sleep at all. You know, I mean, nobody goes to sleep at like 6 or 7 in the evening, right? So sometimes I catch an hour of nap, sometimes I don't. But yeah, typically on a weekend, my day starts at about 12:30. I wake up, I shower, I look presentable, I get to my bride, and then I leave at about 6:37. Once the bride is completely settled, photography over, touch up done, and then I would come back, catch a small nap, like an hour or two, and then figure out breakfast, get to the gym for about an hour and a half, and then go and do my evening bride. So that would be again 1:30 to about 5:30 to 6. And then I come back, and then it's time to kind of process the pictures and edit the videos and get onto social media and plan my content for the next few days. And yeah, it just repeats.
அச்சமில்லை அச்சமில்லை நிகழ்ச்சி நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா நான் உங்ககிட்ட சொன்னது போல பலரையும் ஊக்கப்படுத்துவதற்காக தயாரிக்கப்படும் ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி. சரி, blush beauty and beyond இவ்வளவு பிரபலமாக இருக்கிறதுக்கு என்ன காரணம்? இந்த துறையில வர ஆசைப்படுபவர்களுக்கு நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல ஆசைப்படுறீங்க?
I think it's a lot of hard work, and people don't see that. You know, people only see the, you know, the more glamorous side of social media. You know, attending events or doing photo shoots, or you know, getting popular. I don't even think I'm popular because I feel that the numbers on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube does not define your popularity. Okay, but I won't be able to answer you what defines popularity then, but I would say the numbers do not define the popularity. It's a lot of hard work behind the scene, you know. It's like I said, odd hours, lacking behind social life. With the Indian wedding industry, at least, when everybody else is getting married, you are also booked for another wedding. So I would have missed like hundreds of my family events and other weddings, and you know, so many important events. Even now, my wife is due like November 4th, and I have bookings all around like early November and late October. I don't even know what I'm going to do. You know, if the bride is okay with another makeup artist taking over, well and good. But if they are not, then I have to be there and do my thing. You know, that is the one downside of the industry. There is no sick days. You can't call it sick. You have to be there. You have to show up no matter what. So it's a huge responsibility, and people book you like way ahead. You know, it used to be 6 months, and then it became 1 year. Now it's 1.5 years prior to the wedding date. So there is no backing out at all. I think it's a lot of hard work. And what I see people lacking these days is maybe they're really good with hair and makeup, but they're not good with sari. Or they're good with hair, makeup, and sari, but they're not good with photographs, or they're not good with social media. So you have to make sure you improvise on each section to be a whole good makeup artist or an artist as such. You know, every element has to be good. No matter how beautiful you make a bride to look, if you don't know how to capture it through your photographs, you're never going to make it on social media. So every aspect has to be good. You know, you have to have an eye for aesthetics. You need to know how to match the colors. And it's no longer that, like those days where nobody would want to teach you, or it's all a family secret held back. So many people teach everything these days. Everything is on YouTube too. If you just Google how to take makeup pictures, a million videos is going to pop up. So there is no excuse if you don't know and you're not doing it.
So you're telling me it's pertinent that not only do you know your job well, but you must also be able to market yourself. And to market yourself, you should also be technologically advanced. You should be tech savvy.
Very, very. Absolutely right.
What are the do's and don'ts? இப்போ ஒரு இந்தியர்களுக்குன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா there's certain colors that just won't do. There's certain colors will and you have got yellow undertones, you've got the warm undertones, the blue undertones. So what is the don'ts? என்ன பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லுங்க முதல்ல.
Okay, for me, this is my personal opinion. I like to keep the focus on one particular aspect. So if somebody is wearing heavy jewelry, I like to keep the sari really simple, the blouse really simple. Or if someone likes heavy makeup, someone bright say, just go full on, I want a double eyelid, I want I want a double wing, I want glitter, I want full lashes. So that's well and good, but let's keep the rest minimal. So if you kind of try and create too much emphasis on every element, it's just going to clash and break the look. I love jewelry. I'm a jewelry person. I want big jhumkas, lots of jewelry. So well and good, but let's keep the rest of the elements simple and minimalistic, so that you don't look overdone. The attention is on you and not the makeup, hair and sari. I always tell my brides, the attention has to be on you. People have to look at you first and then look at the rest.
We have sent you 3 photographs in your phone. Okay, now I want to talk about this thing that made you very, very, very something that you did that went viral on the internet was how you critiqued Meghan Markle.
That's right.
So நீங்க வந்து ராயல்ட்டியோட திருமணத்துல வந்து மேகன் போட்டிருந்த மேக்கப், அவங்க உடை, இத பத்திலாம் நீங்க வந்து எழுதி இருந்தீங்க உங்க இன்ஸ்டாகிராம்.
That's right, yeah.
அது வந்து தப்பான ஒரு கருத்துன்னு சொல்லி மிகவும் பரவலாக நிறைய பேரால பேசப்பட்டது. How did you handle that situation first? So there was
a very difficult situation. Yeah, there was lots of backlash, but there was a lot of good supporters as well. I was very disturbed at that point, but then I have learned to accept that this is what you're signing up for. If you put yourself out there, if you're on social media, this is what you're signing up for. And at that time, it seemed like such a horrible thing. I felt that I could never wake up from this ever again. I was so embarrassed to go out. But then it was a conflict in my mind, because I also was thinking to myself, what is the mistake that I made? Because this is the field that I'm a professional artist in. So I've commented on something within my field. Like if I'm a dentist, I can comment on another person's filling or another person's bridge. If I am a dancer, I have some rights to comment about another. Some things are general, okay? Some things are up to you and your own style and whatever you want to do. But there are some basics and there are some guidelines, So like I said, simple analogy. If somebody comes to me, if a patient comes to me with a bad filling, I am able to pass comments on that filling if it wasn't done properly or if it's not up to my liking. So I was just wondering what's happening. But then, like I said, I've learned to accept that criticism is part and parcel of being out there, putting yourself out there. Of course, there will be haters, there will be backstabbers, there will be a lot of people saying all kind of things. And the community is such. If you do 10 good things and you do one bad thing, they will only speak about the bad thing. If you do something really good or something really nice, you won't get a fraction of the shares or the comments or the attention that you will get if you accidentally slip your mouth and say something bad. So yep.
Okay, so of course adu vandu viral la ponichu, but now today I'm inviting you to critique.
Lovely.
Bear in mind, I have got a lot of people who are kind to me in Singapore and until Johor. உங்களுக்கு நாங்க வந்து 3 புகைப்படங்கள் என்னோட படங்கள் அனுப்பி வச்சிருக்கேன். So முதல் புகைப்படம் நீங்க எதை பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கீங்கன்னு எனக்கு சொல்லுங்க.
Okay, I'm looking at this one right here.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it. I think this look was very trendy once upon a time. The whole thick lashes, the big bindi, and most importantly, it suits you. You can pull it off. You can't do this on everybody. you are somebody who is, outspoken, you're an extrovert, so this looks nice on you. If you do the same bindi and the same nose pin and the same eyeliner on somebody that's an introvert, or, who doesn't speak much, or is somebody who's very quiet, they cannot pull this off, So this looks amazing.
And you know what? I'm so enjoying it now. So enjoying this conversation.
Well, I think it's going to be difficult to critique because I like your style. I've seen your pictures and I like your style. So it's mostly like what I would do. Yeah, this one too. I think it's perfect because you have kept the emphasis on the eye and the earring, and you have very intelligently reduced the emphasis on the lips. Have you done all this yourself?
No, this is my makeup artist. So the first one that you saw is mine. The second one I did was by my makeup artist called Monica. Right.
Monica, oh yeah, I know her. I've heard so much about her. Everyone in Singapore says such good things about her.
Yeah, we call her the diva artist.
Ah, so okay.
It's for her.
I've never seen her though. I've never seen her though.
I'll introduce her to you.
Yeah, very tastefully done. I like how the emphasis is on the makeup. I mean, on the eye makeup and the bindi and the earring. That's a beautiful pair of earrings there. And very tastefully, she has very tastefully reduced the emphasis on the lips. Beautifully done. And we have one last one. This one you must have done this yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Very nice, very ideal, very subtle for a regular daytime, just going out, casual wear. Very nicely done. I think it's brilliant. I love it. Good job to you.
Wow, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So we have seen Dinesh. We spoke about Dinesh being the Bharatanatyam dancer. We spoke about Dinesh of Blush Beauty and Beyond. We've spoken about Dr. Dinesh. And now let's talk about Dinesh as a cosmetics lines creator. You not only stopped with makeup, you also have your own line of products. And the one that's really popular in Singapore is your blush palette.
That's right, yeah. That is the only product that I have. But I am coming up with a few different things. This is the first media page that I'm announcing it on. Nobody knows about it yet. So you get the honor of announcing this for me.
Thank you.
So yeah, I am working on a line of very few products. I didn't want to create things that are already out there and are already sold in abundance. There are so many people selling like everything else. I wanted to fill the gap in the market with things that are lacking. A lot of people find difficulties to get like a good brush set, or most of my students tell me that it's so difficult to get a good eyeliner, something that's black, something that's dark, something that stay put throughout the day. So I'm working on those things to kind of, because I like I said, I don't want to be selling things that are already sold in abundance.
Great. Because when I do my TV shows, so I had this makeup artist who came in and she said, Malini, you have to try this blushes. So I did a cookery show, cookery competition, and I was the host. And if you look at my blush, everything was from Blush Beauty.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much.
So all the 30 episodes. Yeah, so I had that. So it was awesome. It's something that I love personally as well. Right. And what about skincare? Are you going to be venturing into skincare?
I want to eventually, but just very honestly, I'm also struggling with bad skin. I've never had good skin throughout my entire life. I'm still trying to fix it. So something from my heart, like if I actually find a formulation or a product that works, I would be so happy to spread it out to the world, because I know how difficult it is, getting good skin and working on it, and, overcoming like skin problems and all the insecurities that it puts you through. So if I really wish I can find something to kind of brand and spread around when I finally get it.
Okay. Now, we've come to the last segment of the questions. And you are now very, very popular for your classes. Master classes and your master classes, you have done it in London, Singapore, Malaysia, Chennai, interestingly, and Bangalore as well. So, Indian skin, colored skin women, and Indian skin especially, makeup you have got the top-notch people in Chennai, in the film industry, as well as in Bangalore. But you have got a special place amongst Indians in Chennai and Bangalore. There were quite a number of people who actually signed up for your classes and they attended your classes. Tell us about this masterclass. What do you cover and how did you penetrate into the Indian market?
The Indian market is my favorite place to teach. They are the best kind of students. They are so grateful. They are so enthusiastic. They would never let me go. You know, they will have a million questions to ask me after class, and I completely enjoy it. You know, I adore them for who they are. And so why I started teaching is because, like I said, when we newly started, it was so difficult to get somebody to teach you what Indian bridal makeup is. You know, there were only very long courses offered, like, you know, there were like 3 months, 6 months, and learning equals to being the assistant of the makeup artist. So you do it all. You even sweep their studio, you mop their studio, you wash their bathrooms, you know, you follow them, you pack, and none of this involves a lot of learning. You know, it's a lot of assisting and being an aid to them. So that's something that I wasn't impressed with. There was nobody teaching like 1-day courses or short courses. There was nothing of that sort. So me and another makeup artist called Justina, we two were the one who first initiated the 1-day workshops. We were so nervous because nobody had ever done this. And the moment we announced it, like in a week or so, we sold out. And that's how we got to know that, you know, this is what people want and we are on the right track. That was the stepping stone. And after that, you know, I kept teaching. For me, it's simple. If you should teach only if you wholeheartedly want to share your knowledge with people. Otherwise, don't do it. You know, we have come to an era where just because everybody teaches, everybody who's not teaching also wants to teach. You know, and then they, you know, it's such a glamorous thing to put on, like, oh, master classes here, international, blah, 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 blah. But I always tell people, if you don't want to teach, if you want to keep your secrets to yourself, if you think that, you know, I want to teach you some things, but I don't want to teach you everything because I don't want you to be as good as me, that's perfectly fine. Then just don't teach. You know, if you want to teach, you have to spill it all, everything that you know. You know, and that's something that I cover in my classes: how to talk to your clients, how to build a reputation, how to market yourself, how to take pictures, how to edit them, how to post, when to post, when you want to promote your social media content. You know, what are the settings your Instagram should be on, or how do you deal with somebody who's fussy, or how do you deal with somebody who has watery eyes, how do you drape a sari on a plus size woman, how do you drape sari on a, you know, somebody who's very small framed. So I think these are the things that people enjoy. And like I said, there are so many people teaching these days. So when you teach genuinely, they know it. They know it when you teach it genuinely, and they will keep coming back to you. And yeah, I've taught in so many different countries. I've realized that it is such a rewarding thing to do. And I absolutely love teaching, and I'm equally enjoying that. So I have one student, one model. I do half the face, and the student does the other half of the face. And the rule is, until and unless you get the other half same as mine, you can't go back.
Right. Okay. Since you spoke about the pandemic, I was about to ask you,
Yeah.
do you have plans of conducting classes online? Master class online
I do. Like I said, India is my biggest market for teaching. And although I didn't plan to do anything online, they have been, like, you know, literally like begging me to have it online. So I am considering. There is a lot of issues that is involved. You know, sometimes a lot of people come to my classes just to see us as well, not just to learn from us. So that element will be lacking. And then, you know, the certification process. And I don't want to be teaching on a platform where, you know, the line gets choppy, or they can't exactly see what I'm doing. They do have higher end softwares, but they're very, very expensive. So I'm just trying to put all those things together to make sure I deliver the best, if I ever plan to teach online.
Right, okay. Do you have anything to add on before we end the interview? That's the last part.
I just want to say that, you know, if you have anything that you've always wanted to do it now. Like, now is the time. If it's not now, it's probably never going to come at any point, you know. Start small, just start somewhere, literally just start somewhere. If you want to be a makeup artist, just get any face, start practicing, learn from a professional, learn from YouTube if you need to, or, you know, if you can't afford to hire a professional mentor, learn from YouTube. If you want to be a dancer, just get dancing, just enroll into a dance school and get dancing. You know, whatever you want to do, this is the time. If it's not now, if you don't live your dream, somebody else is going to do it for you. You know, and I just want everyone to be happy and positive and to be doing what they like to do.
Thank you, thank you. That was a very positive end note as well. But of course, I need to ask you just that one pertinent question. But Malaysia, Puerto Rico, who do you think does her makeup really well? One of the local celebrities in Malaysia.
There is a dancer called Harushini Sukumaran, and I like the way she does her makeup on herself. She's also a very popular dancer from the Temple of Fine Arts, and I love the makeup that she puts on herself.
The one person that you want to put on makeup for?
Oh, I think it's Kim Kardashian. I love her face. She's got like the perfect canvas for makeup, and like I can't wait for the day. I don't know if the day will ever come, but I hope it does.
Thank you so much for your time
Thank
today.
you.
It was a pleasure talking to you. I hope you enjoyed the interview as well.
Yes, I did. Thanks a lot.